Hi guys, welcome to Lisa Lives. I have a lot of videos to get done today. I have 2 tag videos to do. I've been tagged in a few more, which unfortunately I can't do as I don't think my knowledge is enough to do them credit, like the Psycho tag or the Vincent Price tag. I've only actually seen the first Psycho movie, and Vincent Price, I'm only aware of a certain... I'm not a fan of Hammer horror, I have to admit. People will be going boo! But yeah, I've left those tags. I am going to do 2 tags. The first of which today I'm going to do is the alternative tag. This is a tag that Queenie Todd did really recently on her channel, which I loved her answers. I thought it was really interesting. So Queenie got this tag from a fellow YouTuber called Ashleen O'Neill. I wasn't actually aware of her page until I saw Queenie's tag. She's a fellow alternative Irish person. I was going to say Yorkshire person, I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to check her channel and a lot of the content out. I watched her tag, it was really interesting, seems like a really cool girl. I will pop hers and Queenie's tag responses in the description below as always, so check them both out if you're interested. So, without further ado, we'll get into the questions. So number 1, describe your style. Right, I think I'm really plain today in comparison to how I used to dress when I was in my teens and 20s. And I think the restrictions of chronic illness and not feeling like getting proper like glammed up and having a kid and not going out much due to health conditions and blah blah blah, 101 reasons. Most other people seem to distinguish me as being gothic, which I don't particularly feel I dress particularly gothic. I wear a lot of black, fair enough. My hair's naturally dark anyway. I used to wear quite gothic stuff. I used to wear like corsety type stuff and long dresses and that sort of stuff when I was younger, but not so much these days. As like Queenie mentioned in her, she's got a lot of corsets and she also has fibromyalgia like myself, and I think she has a back injury also. Just the restriction of corsets, and they're just too uncomfortable to wear these days, unfortunately. But other people tend to categorise me as being gothic, so I'll say that's my style. I will pop a little comment in here. There you go. That's how people see me. Questionable, eh? So, number 2, how did you start wearing different clothes, hair, piercings, etc.? Right, I can't say I've ever had particularly alternative hair. I've always had black or dark hair. It used to be, as a teenager, really unruly, very thick, very wavy, curly. When I brushed it completely through, it was like afro hair. I had to have my hair thinned as a teenager because it was so thick, it was just crazy. So I used to have to rake it instead of, like a hair rake instead of a brush, because it just made it frizz. These days I don't have that trouble, unfortunately. What I would give for my bushy, thick, bushy type hair back. But what else was the question? Different clothes, hair, right, well piercings I only have 3. I've only got 2 left. My ears, obviously, I had done when I was about 10 or 11. My nose, which I had, which you probably can't see, it's not like I don't have a big nose, which I had done when I was about 20, I think. My belly button, which I had done when I was about 22, 23, which I allowed to close because I'm impatient and it kept catching on bedding and jeans and it just really aggravated me, so I just took it out eventually. I had a little like hoop with a ball on, but it was just so irritating, I got rid of it. Clothes. Now clothes is something I tended to wear that was quite weird. In my early teens, I had a real love of... The more people thought it was distasteful, as in colours, the more I liked it. So I used to wear things like bright orange leggings and like really purple mini skirts over the top and really loud, vulgar, flowery shirts and things like this. I had a fascination with the 70s, so I used to have flares. I had a full wardrobe full of velvet blazers. I had like a purple one, a black one, a green one, a blue one. I had loads. And the only place you could find these were charity shops, like thrift stores. And if you were lucky enough to get one in your size, it was like, these things are so expensive to buy. but I had a whole wardrobe full of these things and I loved them. Then I moved on to more of a sort of, I suppose before the flowery stuff came the traditional rocker type thing. The leather jacket with the with the buckles and the zips on and the back patches and the jeans and the studded belts and all that stuff, like the medal image. Then there was the like Flower Power 70s image with the penny glasses and the love beads and the love beads. Is that what they're called? Am I talking about something entirely different? You know, like the little round penny glasses and the long beads and the flowery stuff and the flares. And then it would have been more gothic. I loved PVC. I wore a lot of PVC. I had a pair of PVC trousers that were the bomb. They were ace. I got so many compliments when I wore them, when my ass wasn't massive. I had, just so many different long flowy black skirts and dresses and like red lace ones and just so many nice gothic stuff. I've still got most of my corsets. Some of them haven't even been worn because I've got nowhere to go to wear them. Some really nice boned corsets that Darren bought for me. The most beautiful thing I ever owned, which I sold and I regret to this day, I had a proper big ball dress. The corset was completely PVC. It had no shoulders, like off the shoulder thing. And the skirt was like floor length, like black tulle, loads and loads of layers of it. So it was like a very goth mother ball dress with a PVC corset, and I adored it. I only wore it a few times to like an alternative like dance disco type thing they used to have when I lived in England, and I just then never had anywhere to wear it. I don't even think I have any photographs of me in it full length. I think I have some normal shots to the waist. What I'll do, I will try and pop some photographs in of different images I can find of me and weird stuff. What other people see as weird stuff. I used to have like falls dreads that you would put in your hair, like, you know, the bright colours and stuff like that. I just wore a lot of weird stuff. Also, as a teenager, I was a size 10. That's a US size 6. I was very slim, so I used to wear a lot of hot pants and little bra tops and things to clubs, not out on the street, like I wasn't a slapper. But I'm so glad I did now, because now that I can't wear stuff like that, I'm just really glad I took advantage of being able to wear beautiful things when I could. So yeah, and it did usually raise a few eyebrows among, I think if you're a girl and you wear things that are that bit skimpy or whatever, a lot of other women have a tendency to raise an eyebrow and make a snap decision about you and your ethics, which in my case was completely, you couldn't be further from the truth, as I was quite innocent and naive as a teenager. But I did like nice clothes, and yeah, Victorian boots was another thing I loved. The full lace-up boots with the little kitten heel and all that sort of crap. I wish I could go back again. Number 3, do your parents accept your style? Yes. They didn't see all of the skimpy stuff when I went to clubs when I was younger, because I would have, you're not going out of the house like that. To be fair, I was over 18, so that's fine. I think my dad used to take the piss a lot when I was a teenager. He would say that I looked like someone hit me in the face because I wore a lot of black eyeliner, and because my hair was really unruly, I looked like I'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. So my dad is always taking the piss about my appearance, always. But I think they're pretty accepting of it. My granny actually really liked when I went through the phase of like long black skirts and like Victorian boots and frilly blouses and stuff, because that's the sort of stuff that, I know she wasn't the Victorian times, but they wore a lot of long skirts and those kind of boots when she was young. And I think because it was quite modest, she quite liked it. So yeah, I'd say yeah, they're accepting of it. They're very accepting of tattoos, let me say. My mum was tattooed before me. She was tattooed when she was 50 on holiday. My dad has a lot of tattoos, which he's only got really this past 10 years or so. I know a lot of other people, including members of my husband's family, who abhor tattoos, who hate them, who take any opportunity to say horrible things about people with them, how nasty they look, etc, etc. We've got family coming in 2 weeks from Yorkshire. I can't wait. Sarcasm. 4, have you ever suffered bullying for being different? I don't know if I'd call it bullying. Bullying can be not physical. At primary school, I got bullied a lot, not for being different because I was just a normal kid, but I was raised by my grandparents and my parents because my mum was really, really ill with multiple sclerosis. My dad was working, so my grandmother raised me mostly. She was very old-fashioned, so things that I got for school, like shoes, were really old-fashioned. They weren't trendy. I had a lot of second-hand things because we didn't have that much money. So I was picked on quite a bit for, like, I specifically remember someone being really nasty about my shoes and showing me up in front of everyone. So that wasn't particularly nice because I couldn't have the newest things and the trendy things, and the stuff my granny picked out for me would have been very, very old-fashioned and people just poked fun. But at that age, I had no fashion sense of my own. I just wore what was bought for me and that was it. So secondary school, high school, I remember on a non-closed day, because in the UK and Ireland we all must wear school uniforms, so on a non-closed day I remember wearing just what was normal clothes, a pair of jeans and my leather biker jacket that had, I think, a Guns N' Roses patch on the back at the time. And I remember people taking the piss mercilessly about this, and to me it was normal. It wasn't weird, it wasn't unusual, but I think at that time shell suits were the fashion. Do you remember shell suits? Oh god. But really baggy jeans and shell suits and big baggy t-shirts were the fashion, but I was wearing like really tight jeans and leather jackets and people took the piss about that. I mean, really? Then when I was in my mid-teens and went through the like flowery stage, the 70s stage, my boyfriend at the time hated it. He used to try to get me to like not wear that stuff. This is the same person that like said I was embarrassing him because I wouldn't take certain drugs at a party and everyone else was and I wasn't, and I said no, I don't want to, I'm not going to. He wasn't very pleased at me, so yeah, he wasn't a very nice boyfriend in retrospect, really, was he? Let me see. Oh yeah, at that time also I used to socialise in Belfast, which is the capital of Northern Ireland for anyone that doesn't know. I'm from like a small village with no nightlife, so when we used to go to Belfast to go to the rock clubs, it was a thing that people that were referred to as trendies, and then there were rockers, and they used to hate each other. I could never understand this. I was sitting on a wall in Belfast once and a group of like blokes walked past and shoved me off the wall for no reason other than I was dressed like a rocker, and they tried to explain it to me at the time. Oh yeah, and they called them spides. Oh, they're just spides. I'm like, what, spides? What's a spide? Oh, them. It's like, and they would drive past the rock club when it was kicking out so that they could shout weirdos, freaks at us. So yeah, that was kind of weird. So yeah. Number 5, what is the most outrageous look you've ever had? I don't think I've ever had an outrageous look. I've never been brave enough. Things like, I've always been tempted, not now, but when I was younger, to shave my head, to have mohawks, to have like multicoloured hair. Like some of the pictures Aisling put up and her hair is like, wow. I've had bright red hair, but never any other colour, and I've never been brave enough to do that because I don't have a face that can get away with. I had short hair for a while. Oh my god, when I was 10, I decided that I wanted to cut my really, really long hair off and have like short, like shaved back, shaved sides, really short on top. I looked like a boy until that grew back. The first person ever to ask me out on a date was a girl who thought I was a boy. I was 11, 12, 11, something like that. She thought I was a boy. I don't suit short hair. I would not suit a shaved head. I would look ridiculous. So I can't get away with it, so I've never done it. But I'd love to have had like a mohawk, a multicoloured mohawk, but I've never had. I wouldn't say anything I've ever worn has been outrageous. People that are very conservative would have said some of the hot pants and stuff were outrageous, or people may say when I went through the 70s phase that I looked ridiculous. But never anything outrageous, unfortunately, to my dismay. Number 6, have you ever had any piercings, tattoos? Oh, have you? That's it. Have you ever had any piercings or tattoos? Yes. Piercings I told you about, ears, nose, navel, and tattoos. I've got 6. Another one hopefully coming at the end of the month. I will insert some pictures here. I've got, the first one I got was my shamrock, which I got when I lived in England to remind me of home. I didn't ever have any intention of ever moving back to Ireland, to be honest. I wanted something that represented where I come from. Then I next got my son's name on my wrist, Isaac. After that, my next one was a Marilyn Manson heart shape from one of my favourite Marilyn Manson albums on the back of my neck, which has got my husband's name. I need that removing and redoing because it's all bled now into each other, so it's a mess. Then I got my my Queen tattoo, for the little caricatures from the cover of Hot Space album. And then I got my Backyard Baby skull with a quote from one of my favourite songs of theirs. And lastly, I got the little Dia de los Muertos skulls with the little Coco imagery underneath, which I'm really disappointed with. The tattooist didn't do the best of the job, and now that it's fully healed, it looks like my oldest tattoo. It's really faded because he didn't put the colour in deep enough, so I will not be going back there again. So yeah, that's it so far, but I do plan on a full sleeve for my left arm, and then if I still have the bug, probably a full sleeve for my right arm. I have a really nasty scar that runs from just where the bottom of your bra line is, right down, like this way, like a diagonal line, and it goes right down to just underneath my waistband. When I had open gallbladder surgery, they had to convert from keyhole for an emergency operation because my gallbladder is not where it should have been. It was behind stuff. So when they started, they had to convert to open surgery to do the operation, and it's the scar is about probably that length. It's massive. It's horrible. So I do intend sometime in the future trying to get some sort of maybe like leafy, flowery sort of something down there to disguise it a bit. But yeah, I love tattoos. I absolutely adore tattoos. I would have had my tongue pierced when I was younger, but I wasn't brave enough because I'd read a story about someone where it had hit a blood vessel and it scared the life out of me, so I never did it. Lastly, I'm waffled that long. Number 7, what would you say to people who are suffering or being judged for the way they look right now? Right, this is really difficult because most people that would care what other people think and that would be suffering are people that are that bit younger. I think when you get to a certain age, you don't really care. That's the one good thing that comes with age. You may lose the figure you once had. You may lose a lot of the youthful look that you once had, but what comes with that is a confidence in yourself that you don't care what other people think of how you look. I don't care. When I was younger, it was hurtful, but I didn't care enough to want to change who I was to fit in. At school, I didn't really fit in at school. Thankfully, in the UK and Ireland, we have to wear uniforms. So that cut out an awful lot of what could have been bullying. But I sort of like was never really in any proper camp, because when I grew up, in our whole year group of 120, 130 kids, to my knowledge there were no more than 4 or 5 kids within that liked alternative music. Everyone else was pretty much liked what was in the charts at the time. So there's never really been a lot of people, and even those that liked the alternative music, a lot of them dressed like anyone else. They didn't really express what they felt inside on the outside. But I would say to anyone that is worried about what other people think, that as hard as things may be now, and as hard as you may feel you don't fit in, you may feel there's no place for you, you may feel if you're at school that that now is really important, but it isn't. When you get older, and something I discovered, you will meet people just like you that came from different areas, that came from different schools, that came from different countries. With the internet now, we didn't have that when I was younger, so I didn't have that advantage, but you will be able to connect with like-minded souls from all over the world. You'll be able to share in the love and passion that you have for how you dress, for what you like, for who you are. Never feel that you have to pigeonhole yourself to be the same as everyone else. And if other people look normal and plain, or if they're got like, I don't know, if they've got like a sporty image, if they've got a gangster image, if they've got whatever their image may be, they're entitled to that image every bit as much as you're entitled to look alternative or different. So never dismiss people because of how they dress or what they wear, because I find a lot of people that are alternative can also be very dismissive of people that dress conservatively, and that's not fair either. People shouldn't do that. How you dress is how you want to dress. It's nothing to do with anyone else, what they think, how they feel, and you should not have the right to express an opinion on someone else's identity. It's none of your business what they... This could go a whole lot deeper, but I won't. How other people want to represent themselves, how other people dress, how other people see themselves, the bodies that people are born into, none of those things is anyone else's business apart from that person and how they feel and how they represent themselves. And busybodies of the world getting involved and having opinions about other people's choices and lifestyles and clothes and whatever that may be just sucks. It really grinds my gears. I don't like it. If you feel you're suffering by being judged by other people for how you look, that's no reflection on you or how you look. That's a reflection on the ignorance of other people, the stupidity of other people, the narrow-mindedness, the narrowness of the goalposts that they're afraid to widen. Something you're not afraid to do that they are. Never judge other people, but at the same time never take what other people are saying as being true. Even if more people are saying it than aren't saying it, it doesn't mean it's true. I didn't have any female friends growing up that was the same as me. That me and my excuse me, best friend of many years parted company. Well, we were best friends. We were inseparable. We parted company at about the age of 14. When we went to different schools. Mine was a grammar school, hers was a high school, and her friends bullied her into not being friends with me because I went to a posh school, so I must be posh and stuck up. Couldn't be further from the truth. My family never had anything. We were a poor family, so where that came from. But anyway, the point is I grew up as a teenager very insecure. I didn't have a female friend. People that I went to school with, I talked to at school, but we didn't do anything outside of school. I was very much ostracised on the outside of things, but that never made me change who I was or want to change who I was to fit in with other people, because that's bullshit. I apologise for the language in this video. When I got older and met people more like me, especially when I moved to England, I met people that were the same as me. Some of those friendships worked out and some didn't, as with any life. But my best friend now, Kelly, who I've known for, oh my goodness, I'm going to guess 12 or 13 years now. I can't remember. Oh, I do know when it was, because I remember what birthday it was. It's about 12 years ago that I met Kelly, and we're very similar minded in a lot of ways. And she's had a past growing up looking alternative like I did, and she had a mate unlike myself. But yeah, you meet people as you get older, you bond with people, you've got shared memories, things you thought you were on your own with, things you thought that made you weird, you realise you're not, you realise you're very similar. And I've got this with Kelly with the horror thing as well. It doesn't tend to be that popular amongst girls, and people call you weird, and people call you a freak, and people call you sick because you like horror. But as you get older and things like YouTube comes about, you realise how many other girls love all the same things, and Kelly loves all those same things as well. So now I feel really, really like grateful to have met someone that I connect with on that level, that is not judgmental. That another funny thing, and I think Aisling spoke about this in her video, Kelly is into rock music, quite heavy rock music compared to me, like metal stuff. But she loves Disney. She loves cute things. She loves like fluffy things. She likes pink. I love cute stuff. Probably not to the same degree that Kelly does, but I like really cutesy, fluffy and toys, and I like squee at things like a little girl and all the rest of it. But it's like that two-sided thing. It's like that dark, heavy horror rock music one side, and that cutesy, girly, pink, fluffy, all that other side, and we share that. We're similar like that. So yeah, that's a really long-winded question. I'm sorry I've waffled for this length of time, but don't feel like you're suffering. Just feel pity for other people that judge you for how you are, and those people aren't people you want in your life anyway. You want to gravitate towards people that accept you for how you are, not necessarily people that are the same as you, because in life you can have friends that are completely different to you, and I have, now that I'm grown up, that I've met other people that are accepting, that are nice people. I tried for a while when I moved to England and got into a workplace and all the girls were very obsessed with straighteners and fake tans, and I've spoken about this before. They used to pick on me something chronic because I was pale. They always were telling me to cut my hair and to straighten it, and just because it was really wild at the time. I actually dyed my hair, like, I love ginger hair. I adore if I could have any colour hair in the world that I wanted, it would be ginger. So I dyed my hair ginger and I went and had it cut to like here, and I had it straightened, and I went out on hen nights with, was it hen night? No, it was a birthday night, and they decided they wanted to wear pink vests with motifs on the front. I was forced into this baby pink thing. Don't like baby pink. I'm going to insert a picture of what I looked like then. I tried to fit in by looking like that. That's not me, that's not how I look. I probably will dye my hair again in the future a similar colour, but I did that to try and fit in, to try and be accepted, to try and stop them constantly telling me I wasn't enough, that I needed to be tanned, that I needed to have my hair sorted out, that I needed to tone down the dark coloured makeup and wear more like neutrally pastel-y girly colours. But yeah, I tried to fit in, and it wasn't the right thing to do. I've moved on from that, and now I wear what I want that makes me comfortable, and if people don't like that, they can jog on. So yeah, I will stop waffling because that's been way too long. I doubt most people will watch it to that length, but yeah. I am going to tag solely girls here. I hope you guys don't mind, because I don't know amongst the guys on my channel who, there's one I know, I'll tag him actually. Most guys that I know that like rock, metal and all of the rest of it, I don't know if they've grown up with a specifically really alternative style, so rather than single ones out, I thought, well, I won't, because I'm just going to pick people that look very alternative to me. So I'm going to tag Amy McLean. I will put all these channels below. I'm going to tag Victoria Beckon. Recently changed her name from Victoria Linoleum. Felicia Lobo. Nightmare Maven. HorrorGal Susan. And PixieDust, that's Sarah. Hope you guys enjoyed this at all. If you did, give us a thumbs up. So appreciate any comments, any likes, and if you're new here, consider subscribing. I always forget to say that on my videos, but yep, there we go. So with that said, hope the answers were okay, Queenie. I loved your video. If you enjoyed this tag and the questions, go over and check out Queenie's answers to these. It's just awesome. Really, really interesting, really insightful, really deep answers to these questions. So yeah, I will leave that now, and it's over and out from Lisa Lives.